Let's move on to our second main topic today. And our second main topic today gets sent in to us from Digitel, who writes, do you think Disney are going to slow the production speed down on Avatar 3, 4, and 5, and 6? 3, 4, and 5. That's right, because we've already got 2 on the way, until the first sequel is released. The last 2 James Cameron produced films, Alita Battle Angel and Terminator Dark Fate, have not had the box office returns expected. Surely, Alan Horn must want to pump the brakes a little bit. Thanks for sending that in, and of course, don't call me Shirley. Here's the thing, though. Is Disney right now panicking a little bit because the last 2 films that James Cameron produced did not meet expectations? Well, okay, let's look at what that means. Alita Battle Angel made a modestly respectable, for the blockbuster status they were expecting, $404 million. I believe it broke even. It did break even. This was not a bad little movie. It's not a bad little movie. Now, it had a couple of things working against it. Horrible first trailer, subject material that not a lot of people, like in some geek circles, like, oh yeah, we've all heard of Alita Battle Angel. The vast majority of the movie-going audience has never heard of it. So that was a little bit of an uphill climb too. It was a weird sort of presentation to try to sell to people, and it didn't do great. And not everybody loved it. I thought it was actually quite fun and entertaining.
I did too.
But James Cameron didn't direct this film. He didn't direct it. It's so you got to keep that in mind. Now, of course, we've got Terminator Dark Fate, which we spoke at length about yesterday, is tremendous disaster. Tremendous disaster. Making just $29 million on its opening weekend. We'll see where it finishes out, and we'll see how well it does overseas, but this is going to be a movie that loses the people who made it anywhere between $100 and $130 million. There's no other way to, and I like this movie, but it's a disaster. There's no way around it. But again, it wasn't directed by James Cameron. Do you know how many movies Steven Spielberg has produced?
Batteries not included, dude. That burned up the box office charts.
I mean, listen, and by the way, how involved he was and all that kind of stuff is up for debate and question as well. But more importantly than all of that, Alita Battle Angel is not Avatar. All right? Terminator Dark Fate, having no good Terminator film since 1991, is not Avatar. Avatar is a film that sat on top of the all-time worldwide box office leader for nearly a decade. And it's a film that a lot of people have been waiting for. I think it's overdue, but what have you. So, absolutely not. I think we're comparing apples to spaceships here. Yeah, James Cameron was involved in Alita Battle Angel, and yes, he was involved in Terminator, but he wasn't the director of either of them, and neither of those properties are Avatar. So, but listen, James Cameron himself said in an interview, we talked about this about 4 or 5 months ago, that, yeah, we're planning 4 sequels, but we're going to do the first 2, and who knows what happens. James Cameron himself, we talked about on the show, said, hey, look, if we do 2 and 3 and they flop, well, we're not going to do 4 and 5, right? So that's always been part of the plan. But honestly, I don't think Alan Horn, who is as seasoned in this business and as intelligent as they come, I don't think he's looking at this and losing 1 second of sleep over Avatar because of what happened with Alita or Dark Fate. I think it's totally removed. Rob, you see the situation. Do you think the results we're seeing these other movies could maybe make Disney a little worried about Avatar?
No, not at all. I mean, look at James Cameron's last 2 narrative features that he directed, Titanic and Avatar. And together, what did they gross collectively at the box office? What? Close to $4 billion, if not over $4 billion. Everybody always wants to bet against James Cameron. As a director, as a writer-director, and I know he's had co-writers on the Avatar sequels, I would never bet against James Cameron at the box office. If he delivers the kind of entertainment he delivered with both Titanic and Avatar, which everybody poo-pooed while those movies were being made up until the day they came out. And remember, even Titanic, it wasn't like it was a huge box office success right away. It played for a long time.
Had massive legs.
It was like the Greatest Showman of its day. You know, and I wouldn't bet against James Cameron. I think they know what they've got. I think James Cameron knows what he's got, and he's not gonna disappoint us.
Do you think, though, there is I mean, we know not to doubt him and all that kind of stuff. We know that. Do you think, though, there is the potential here that, there have been a number of high-profile films, Rob, over the past couple of years that maybe there were some pretty big expectations for that didn't quite work out the way they had hoped? We're now heading into Avatar, which I think is long overdue. I mean, the Avatar sequels, some of this should have come out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, they are late on this. But do you think combining all of that, and you're not just looking at James Cameron, but you're looking at industry trends as a whole. Do you think looking at the whole industry like that could be giving them a little bit of pause at that point, or do you think it's not even a consideration?
Well, I think, look, you have to take everything into consideration whenever you're analyzing box office trends, or you're not spending an inordinately. This is a lot of money they're spending, so of course they're going to look at everything. They have to look at everything, and the way that landscape has shifted has. I mean, 5 years ago. Well, 10 years ago, physical media was still a huge part of revenue for Hollywood. I mean, if you look at the precipitous drop in that, I mean, the revenue streams, they used to rely on that revenue stream's not there. It's still, $3 or $4 billion, but it's dropping every year. So they have to look at everything. But again, you've got a filmmaker that if you want to go back even to the very first Terminator, I mean, if you look at his track record, Terminator, Aliens, The Abyss, True Lies, Titanic, Avatar. I mean, he has had a pretty damn solid track record in terms of delivering the goods. I think if there's one filmmaker you could bet on in Hollywood to deliver, it's James Cameron.
So the question here is, guys, do you think at this point, with what's been going on between the whole situation of the different movies and all that kind of stuff, do you think that they may have to go back and pump the brakes on that? Jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, with that down.